home and think a vacuum cleaner, put your hand next to it, it sucks into it, you're running airflow through the ducts, it's pulling all the old dusty dirty insulation from the attic, it's pulling all the dust and dirt particulates from the agriculture, and that's filtering in your home. And that can really affect allergy, dry skin, sinus sufferers, and specifically seniors with respiratory issues, pneumonia. Very important to breathe clean air. So what we do is we come in, we deep clean those ducts, we purify them with Envirocon, what hospitals use to sterilize, but most importantly is we wrap and seal the ducts with the reflective insulation blankets, turning that duct into so now it's instant cold, instant hot, you don't have the lag time, and you're breathing cleaner, better air. And most importantly is you don't get the mold, you don't get the rodents invading into the duct runs anymore, because it's very normal for us to pull out 2, 3, 4 rodent carcasses out of the duct runs because they eat the fiberglass and they nest inside the duct runs. So it's really important to wrap those ducts and seal insulation blankets, and those 3 things will instantly make you cooler in summer, warmer in the winter, save you 44% off your utility bill minimum, and breathe better, cleaner, so you're not out the air, so you're healthier.
Well, I love that, saving money and also breathing healthier, clean air. We're talking with Garrett Harwood. Garrett is a certified energy consultant. His company, Eagle Shield, has worked with NASA for over 20 years. Now, if you'd like Garrett and his team to assess your home from your mobile phone, all you do is dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. They'll set up an absolutely free, no obligation demonstration, and the first 20 callers get 25% off all materials and labor, plus 0% for 12 months on approved credit. Dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. It's as simple as that. Dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield right now. Their team is standing by. I mentioned you save people thousands. Tell me how Eagle Shield saves people money.
So we at Eagle Shield focus on what Department of Energy calls the big 3. There's literally 3 things that matter the when it comes to lowering utility bills, improving comfort, breathing better indoor air quality. Those 3 things are in order of importance, and we touched on them, is number 1, reflective insulation. That's number 1. That's the heavy. As I said before, you don't do that first. Every decision you make after that is dealing with the fact you didn't do that. Then number 2 is ventilation, and that's where we highly recommend putting in a solar attic fan to improve your ventilation. Another, a lot of people don't know this, but if you go outside your house and look at your vents on your roof, not only how many you have, but the size of them, but did you know that you have the exact same ventilation code here in this hot valley? We have the same ventilation code as Pacifica on the coast. Your attics get 80 degrees, your attic gets 150, but you got the same vents. And not only the same vents, but they're and that simply means they're not mechanical pulling the heat out of the attic. The attic feels slowly, but what is hotter than the home wants to rise, but it can't because your attic is full of 150 degrees of hot air. So by sucking that, you create a vacuum with the hot air to leave your home, and since the solar attic fan, you're not paying the electricity to run it, and it's lifetime warranted, and a big perk is the government actually pays you a third of it back, federal solar stimulus tax credit. So I call that the gift that keeps on giving. And the final component is the airflow, and that's where we recommend 2 things: deep clean, purify, wrap, and seal all your ducts so you're breathing cleaner air. You're not leaking through the duct run. Your ducts are efficient. You're not straining your air conditioning heating system. You run your quite-cool whole house fan, it's costing you pennies an hour. It's healthier air, and you get 10 times more airflow. Anybody that has a whole house fan will testify to how much they just love and adore it. So now we start looking at the potential of how much you're saving. So typical utility savings averages around 44%. But let's say someone say $400 utility bill. Warm reflective insulation literally can save them over $2,000 a year right now. But it's more than that. haze in the air and far less dust in the home. Time-wise, our customers tell us that they used to spend a few hours a week dusting, and now that's been reduced to almost nothing. You don't know how many homes we visit where they tell us they're getting ready to spend $20, $30, sometimes even $40,000 or more for energy-efficient windows, HVAC systems. This is where our complete energy audit comes in. Look, we know that 80% of a home is heating through the roof, mainly because the direction of heat. Hotter rises, heat moves down, and smart people get it. I mean, don't you know that you're standing 6 feet below a 150-degree attic in August? People get it. Outdated insulation in the attic, it's a sponge. We're able to come in and literally, for a small fraction of what they were going to spend on new windows or a new air conditioning heating system, we install the collective insulation in the seal plugs, we put in the sewer attic fan, and guess what? That solved the problem of the source rather than dealing with the symptom. And there's nothing wrong with windows, there's nothing wrong with air conditioning heating systems, so very important. But when you go by Department of Energy, 80% of heat loss and heat gain is attic, just direction of heat. Walls and windows account for 11% energy loss, simply because hot air doesn't rise and then decide to make a right turn. So attics are 80% loss, walls and windows are 11%, crawl space is 8% when you're not on slab concrete, and 1% loss is weather stripping or caulking. So obviously, the biggest bang for the buck is fix the problem of the source. Keep the heat and dew on out. Keep the winter heat and dew on in. That will save you 44%. You run your air and heater 70% less. You'll be 10 to 12 degrees cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. Everything works efficiently. Now, if you still have leftover issues, you could look at putting in a new HVAC system. But because we're blessed, we live here in California, we live in Buffalo, New York, if you fix the 80% of the attic, that tends to throw people right into.
I like that, saving as much as 44% on the energy bill, and also a better quality of life, being able to clean air, not cleaning up dust all the time. We're talking with Garrett Harwood. Garrett is a certified energy consultant and is kind of for over 20 years. Now, if you'd like Garrett and his team to assess your home, it's very easy. All you have to do is from your mobile phone dial pound 50 and say Eagle Shield. They'll set up an absolutely free, no obligation demonstration. 20 callers, you get 25% off all materials and labor, plus 0% financing for 12 months. All you have to do is dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. That's pound 250. Right now, their team is standing by to help. Okay, I'm convinced this is a great thing that I need to do. So where does the homeowner start?
The most important thing first is just assess the attic problem. If you're too hot in the summer, if you know that you're too cold in the winter, if you are not happy with your utility bills and you just see them going up and you keep living the same way, or a lot of people sacrifice their comfort to keep their bills low. And if you're sacrificing your comfort and your bills are still going up, then I would just humbly suggest you give us a call. You dial from your phone pound 250. An inspection for us to come out. We do not charge you for that. It'd be our privilege, and we will assess it, look at it, and let you know how we can best help you.
And I guess that's why you're 55,000 plus installations and still growing.
Yes, well, 32 years, over 55,000 clients. I like to say that we've done it so long. What did Einstein say? The definition of a genius is you just do one thing long enough, you tend to be pretty good at it. The product definitely sells itself, and we're truly blessed to be able to provide comfort, help, and save people money, which to me is really important right now. Besides the fact, our products are incredibly affordable. The installation process usually takes just 1 day, and the savings on the utility bill, it'll be seen immediately. Our customers rave. We have the 5-star red carpet, white glove install process, so no hassle installations.
Right, we're talking with Garrett Harwood. Garrett is a certified energy consultant. His company, Eagle Shield, has worked with NASA for over 20 years. Now, Garrett and his team are ready ready to assess your home. And if you'd like them to do that, all you have to do is from your mobile phone, pound 250 shield. And what they'll do is they'll set up an absolutely free, no obligation demonstration. 20 callers will receive 25% off all materials and labor, plus 0% financing for 12 months on approved credit. Pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. That's pound 250 and say Eagle Shield right now. Their team is standing by to help. When we talk about how much reflective insulation helps reflect 97% of the hot summer heat, but how can this NASA technology help in the winter?
Excellent question, and exactly the same way. So the beauty of reflective insulation is it's two blankets of 99.5% pure industrial grade aluminum mylar for a two-sided reflector. So when we install this in your attic, it's not only 97% of the summer heat away, but it reflects 97% of the winter heat that you create back in. So, you know, and that actually brings up a very important thing to talk about. You know, 70% of business tend to be seniors on fixed incomes, and one of the nightmares that we have to deal with a lot of times with seniors, is, especially senior women, is arthritis, osteoporosis. They're running the heaters all the time trying to stay warm. We call it the super senior syndrome. You know, Nana's 90 years old wearing a sweater, running a heater, and it's 90 degrees outside. If you have a grandmother or great-grandmother living with you, you kind of know what I mean. And so the problem is, people don't know this, when you run the heat more than you should because you're wasting, you're actually burning up the air in order to heat it. You ever notice when you run a heater and it runs too long, your throat gets all dry and constricted? It's because you're getting less oxygen because you're combusting it, you're burning it up. And that really affects seniors because they're running the heater trying to be warm. That hot air is rising, it's soaking through your sponge, it's going out your roof line. That's why cats jump on the roofs, and you go to a snow area, you can always tell who's home. You see the steam melting the snow on the roof. You're paying your money to heat the world. That's because you're not keeping that heat in. So by reflecting 97% of that heat back in, you're now 8 to 12 degrees warmer in the winter. You run your heater 70% less because you're not wasting. Yes, you save 44% charge for running in the winter, but more importantly, it's because you're far more comfortable, and that really has an added health benefit for seniors.
Talking with Garrett Harwood. Garrett is a certified energy consultant in his company Eagle Shield for 20 years. Now, Garrett, it's been great getting all this information about how we can save money on energy, how we can have a better quality of life, having our homes work more efficiently, having cleaner air so we don't have to dust so often. It goes on and on. Again, I want to thank you for joining us here today.
Oh, it's been my honor and a privilege. Thank you very much.
You've been listening to a special edition of At Home with KFIV. And if you'd like Garrett and his team to assess your home from your mobile phone, this is not a text, from your mobile phone, dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. They'll set up an absolutely free, no obligation demonstration, and the first 20 callers will receive 25% off all materials and labor, plus 0% financing for 12 months on approved credit. Again, dial pound 250 and say Eagle Shield. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Does your home have a gas furnace? Hey there, it's Armstrong and Getty. Did you know that natural gas prices are forecast to be up 180% this winter? And PG plans on another 18% increase in January.
Take control of your heating bill this winter by insulating your home with Eagle Shield. Homes with Eagle Shield see up to a 44% reduction in heating and cooling costs. They remain up to 12 degrees warmer while running the heater up to 70% less.
Yep. Eagle Shield reflective insulation technology by NASA. Simply said, Eagle Shield keeps the heat in your home during the winter and will save you up to 44% on your heating bill.
Reflects it out in the summertime, too. So call now. First 25 callers receive 25% off all labor and materials. No payments, no interest for 12 months on approved credit. Eagle Shield will even cover the tax. For a free demonstration from your mobile phone, dial pound 250, and when prompted, keyword Eagle Shield. It's an easy one-day installation, by the way. Just dial pound 250 and that's just for the demonstration. Dial pound 250, say Eagle Shield.
Are you a small business owner looking to raise awareness of your services to the Central Valley? Come join us on the Small Business Voice radio show to tell your story. Send us a note at smallbusinessvoicemedia.com to see if it makes sense for you. We are the Small Business Voice.
A free small check event is back at the Stockton Fairgrounds on Saturday, February 11th from 6:30 a.m. until noon. Bring your car for a free small check. If it fails, you get a $5 voucher for free repairs. A program of the Valley Air District.
Booming over the Central Valley. Power Talk 1360. An iHeart radio station. KFID Modesto. And PowerTalk1360.com.
Take care of it. I'm Pam Puso, Fox News. That's how President Biden responded to a question about the Chinese balloon floating over the U.S. The Pentagon, a surveillance balloon, something Beijing disputes.
The Chinese spy balloon had been floating in Montana, home of one of the Air Force's 3 bases that have Minuteman III nuclear missile silos. The same kind of silos the Chinese are now building in its own country to ramp up their forces, a stockpile that's expected to double in the next decade.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson.
Nothing about this until this slow-moving balloon was hundreds of miles into the state. It had already flown over military installations, and it was over our most populous city in the state.
Montana's Republican Governor Greg Gianforte on Fox and Friends Weekend. Turning to politics, the Democratic National Committee has approved President Biden's shakeup of the party's 2024 nominating calendar. It gives black voters a greater say in the nominating process. South Carolina replaces Iowa in the leadoff spot. Record-breaking cold has been reported in Boston, where the wind chill went as low as -39 overnight.
The wind has been causing problems across the state. I've been looking at reports of downed trees all over the place. Some of them have been falling in people's backyards, but some of them have also been falling onto moving cars.
Fox Weather's Katie Burns says a baby was killed in Southwick when a tree toppled on a car. Captured Russians and Ukrainians are heading home as the conflict nears the 1-year mark.
A massive prisoner swap between the Russians and the Ukrainians that saw dozens of prisoners traded back and forth.
Eve, America's listening to Fox News.
Jason in the House, the Jason Chaffetz podcast. There is always someone stupid somewhere. Dive deeper than the headlines and the party lines as I take on American life, politics, and entertainment. Join Jason Chaffetz every Wednesday as I shed light on the news and make some predictions along the way. You never know who will drop in. Subscribe now on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Connect to Fox News Audio and the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
In real time, here's your Power Talk 1360 news update.
Winter storm warnings for heavy snow have been issued for California's high country starting later this afternoon into Sunday night. 1 to 3 feet of snow is expected in some areas above 5,000 feet, along with wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. UC Davis is announcing a new lung cancer screening study.
Lung cancer is the #1 cause of cancer deaths. Comprehensive Cancer Center at UC Davis wants to know why screening rates are so low in California. According to UC Davis researchers, only about 5% of those eligible for lung cancer screening are getting screened in the state. The American Cancer Society reports more than 17,000 people in California will be diagnosed with lung cancer this year. Ryan.
And Joe Biden is visiting a family clinic in Oceanside before heading to LA today. News, I'm Ryan Mayer.
Are you a small business owner looking to raise awareness of your services to the Central Valley? Come join us on the Small Business Voice radio show to tell your story. Send us a note at smallbusinessvoicemedia.com to see if it makes sense for you.